again, internet. Seems to hold up for now.
Yeah, seems a lot better now.
Yeah, sometimes rebooting helps. Yeah, I think we can work with the stream quality instead of glorious 17 kilobits per second. Yeah, to reiterate, I've never played this one before. Will be our first ride through this, and I know basically nothing besides there's this big hulking giant named Nemesis. And apparently this game has no normal mode. So...
Well,
easy.
if you want, I could just flip for it.
Now, I guess we can try hard mode and see how far we get today. And if everything is a pain, I will just switch to easy at some point.
Seems fair.
It all began as an ordinary day in September. An ordinary day in Raccoon City. A city controlled by Umbrella. No one dared to oppose them, and that lack of strength would ultimately lead to their destruction. I suppose they had to suffer the consequences of their actions, but there would be no forgiveness. If only they had had the courage to fight. It's true that once the wheels of justice begin to turn, nothing can stop them. Nothing. It was Raccoon City's last chance, and my last chance. My last escape.
This is Chopper Delta, preparing to drop off at area E95070.
What are they?
Thanks Windows for informing me that I should update my graphic cards driver. Also yeah, this seems like a proper response to zombie invasion.
So, this is pretty much all from memory, so I'm probably gonna miss a couple of things, but they made a couple of changes in Resident Evil 3, like you might notice, the quick 180 turn is finally introduced, so that'll probably come in handy from time to time. But they also added in some kind of weird dodge mechanic.
Oh,
unfortunately, it only really works by, you know, pressing the ready weapon button just before an enemy attacks. And I never managed to really get it to work.
September
reliably, so
The monsters have overtaken the city. Somehow, I'm still alive.
So yeah, I will not assume that I will ever be able to dodge.
Okay, we've got to get out of here.
What? What do you think you're talking about? I just lost my daughter out there. How dare you tell me to go back outside?
I'm sorry about your daughter, but there isn't gonna be any rescue. We have to get out of here.
No! I'm not going anywhere. I'd rather starve to death in here than be eaten by one of those undead monsters. Now leave me alone!
Bye, fat man.
I told you! I'm not leaving! Never!
I wonder what is in these barrels. I don't trust the label on it.
yeah, like Mark mentions, completely unrelated, but after you've made a bit of progress, you should remember to come back to this place. For reasons.
Saving fat man.
Yeah, I forgot about that as well, actually. At the very least, the game does actually put in 2 instruction manuals in your inventory so that you'd at least have somewhat of an idea what some of the new mechanics are supposed to be.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's the other new thing.
I have the feeling
Most-
I will hate it.
Yeah, the thing is, in Resident Evil 3, to get most of your ammo, you have to start combining gunpowder.
Oh boy, what did I do? Huh.
Well, I guess it also doesn't really help since the emulation seems a bit off, but essentially, if you combine gunpowder with the reloading tool, you pretty much get ammo from it.
Yeah.
Gunpowder A, I believe, that pretty much gets you handgun bullets. There's gunpowder B, which gives you shotgun shells. And C, I think it was magnum bullets. And then you have to combine certain gunpowders with each other in order to get stuff like various types of grenade rounds.
So I will never get grenades this time around.
Well, you might. Problem is, I have no idea which combination was what anymore, so...
Trial and error. Can't I just take the bike and bike out of Raccoon City?
Once you actually go out there, you realize that Raccoon City seems like a really poorly thought out city layout.
Why do I not expect anything else from a video game city? At least people are still growing weed everywhere.
Actually, there's also the problem that, you know, that room the zombies burst out of, you might want to go down there because that's the only place where you'll be able to find a shotgun.
Oh boy. So let's reset the enemies first and then hop over there. Oh, thanks for the tip.
Well, then, and, you know, you're going to need the lighter oil anyway, since that's one of the items you're going to need in order to progress.
Right, you've warned me that this city layout is terrible, but... Hoibo. Also, this is some big weed plant.
Oh yeah, that's also something that they introduced. But the problem is, I can't remember how they handled it in the GameCube version, since it doesn't have... since it only has 2 triggers instead of 4.
Oh.
But I remember in the PS1 version it was actually possible to... There's the usual ready weapon button that pretty much would lock on to the nearest enemy. But then you'd be able to hit something like R2 in order to lock on to explosive devices.
It's not locking on in any...
Well, come to think of it, you might have to go into the options and actually turn on the auto aim.
Yep. So, I'm clearly going in circles here.
Well, that first door you went through when you first decided to run away from the zombies that burst out of that room, I'm pretty sure that's where you're supposed to go.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Yeah, I forgot to ask. So, one of the other things that they changed to Resident Evil 3 is that you no longer have to pretty much press the interact button in front of the staircases in order to go up and down them.
Oh, yeah. I can...
Which is really handy and everything. But then for some reason Code Veronica came out and then they went back to how it used to work.
The new team just couldn't figure out how.
I think it's more due to the fact that it was handled by a different team than the one that worked in Resident Evil 3, so they probably didn't actually think of that.
Oh god, I'm hating this already.
Get away!
Brad, hang in there. Why isn't someone doing something about this?
I didn't know you were still alive, Jill. The police aren't trained for this kind of situation. What could they do? Listen, he's coming for us. We're both gonna die.
What are you saying?
You'll see. He's after STARS members. There's no escape.
Okay, buddy, thanks for giving us half information. And not even being able to fight off a single zombie alone. Oh boy. Postcard diaries.
So, I'm assuming you still somewhat remember who that guy was supposed to be?
Not really. The helicopter guy from the first Resident Evil.
Yeah, he's the one that pretty much decided to just, you know, fly the hell out of there as soon as things went to crap and pretty much left everybody else behind.
Just like I would have done it. I thought he canonically died in Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, but the thing is, Resident Evil 3 is one of those weird games that the first half takes place 24 hours before Resident Evil 2, and then the second half takes place 24 hours afterwards.
Oh. Oops. Wait, wasn't I here before?
Yeah, but now since you have both the lighter and the lighter oil, you should be able to go in the other direction before you decided to follow Brad, and you should be able to use your newly acquired items.
Whoops. I wanna say the city layout already drives me insane.
Yeah, it's not great.
Guess I have to go to the north instead of here.
Uh-huh.
And Greta is right. That is pretty much the reason why nobody can deal with anything here. I mean, you did see how the police parked their cars during the intro cutscene. Oh boy.
I don't know, the part that I like the most is at one point one of them suddenly just started yelling "stun him" while they were shooting them with freaking machine guns and shotguns.
Yo, dear zombies, could you please move as a group? Oh no, 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 no. Not doggies.
Okay, considering that you decided to run past the save room there, I'll just try and give you a piece of advice. When the game pretty much asks you if you want to stay there or just run away, I'd suggest run the hell away.
Jill! We've gotta... Jill! Help!
Yeah, and as Lurk mentions, there's also the whole part that if you actually do decide to fight the Nemesis, he does drop items. But of course, it's pretty much like dealing with Mr. X. You can't actually really kill him until, like, around the end of the game, so he's gonna keep coming back.
Yeah, that one I know that he keeps returning all the time.
And then there was also the added problem that Nemesis does drop items when you take him down, but only in hard mode. In easy mode, he doesn't drop anything. And then there's just the overall problem that, you know, if you decide to fight him and everything, he takes a crap load of ammo to take down, and he pretty much hits like a goddamn truck. Though I think there's at least maybe 2 occasions in the entire game where you'd be able to take him down during one of those quasi quick time events, and you'd somewhat be able to get the items that he drops a little bit more easily.
I don't know, but if I would have saved, I would probably have tried to fight him, just to see how terrible it will be.
Yeah, I also vaguely remember that, as Lurk mentions, that at the very least they do seem to somewhat reward you and everything if you actually do decide to fight Nemesis at every single opportunity, because then the final item he drops is this one item that you can pretty much combine with any weapon, and then you'll pretty much have infinite ammo for that weapon.
Yay, but only for that weapon, I assume.
Yup.
Will I stay longer in the police station?
No, not really.
No.
I mean, it's not like you'll actually be able to, even if you wanted to, since apparently at this point, before Leon and Claire showed up, most of the place was still barricaded.
Yeah. It's still super full of zombies.
Well, yeah, I mean, they were trying to make sure to keep zombies out and everything. They weren't expecting to, you know, have most of their own police force suddenly get zombified.
Right, I would love to find a safe room now.
Well, there should be one in the usual spot. I think there's supposed to be a door just next to the staircase in one of the earlier hallways.
Damn it. Not worth it. Now the question is, what should I take with me?
Well, come to think of it, yeah. I suppose it probably would be a good idea to just put the reloading tool in the item box for the most part, because, you know, most of the time when you find gunpowder and everything, you should be able to just go back to the nearest save room and then just quickly grab that out of there if you want to make some ammo.
Yeah, that's probably true.
I think at the very least you're not going to need the lighter for a while.
Yep. Now watch me go up the stairs and find a giant spider web you forgot about.
Normally that shouldn't be a problem. For some reason the spiders prefer to just hang out in the sewers, and you're not going to have to go there as far as I'm aware of. At least not the same sewers as in Resident Evil 2.
And here I wanted to say, oh boy, a game without sewer level.
Well, come to think of it, were there actually any sewers in the original Resident Evil?
No.
Because I think the closest that one had were aqueducts. Oh, and also at the very least, you don't have to push around statues because they're for some reason not there.
They were brought in later.
Okay, I think you might have jumped the gun a bit. So, you remember that PC that was in the main hallway at the entrance of the police station?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to use the card on that.
Yay.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, in that room with the lockers, I think there's supposed to be one that you'd be able to open up, but you're supposed to get the combination after you've used the STARS card on the computer and everything. Which is also one of those things Resident Evil 3 does. Like, the one combination that you add in Resident Evil 2 is always going to be the same, but apparently Resident Evil 3, they decided to pretty much screw people over and pretty much make like 3 different variants, so it's never really guaranteed that you're going to get the same combination that you had the previous time you played the game.
Alright, someone please type that down in the stream chat. Because I will probably forget it 2 rooms over.
Okay, Greta, that's just mean.
I wanted to type in Greta's code, but that didn't work. There's no 6.
And to answer your question, LaRougia, I'm pretty sure that's how it's supposed to go. Yeah, that, if I remember correctly, there was also one of those things that randomizes with every playthrough. Sometimes you'd open the locker and find a grenade launcher, and other times you would end up finding the Magnum.
Glad we got the grenade launcher.
Yeah, I guess they probably put this in here for all those Resident Evil fans that were pretty much spending several hours arguing with each other whose desk belonged to who.
I hate faxes. Right, where to use that thing now? The lockpick.
I think you're supposed to be able to use that on one of the lockers. I think if you tried to open it without it, it would mention that that something about it was broken.
No! Come anyone! Our platoon is cut off! No survivors found! This is Carlo! Send in support immediately!
So, back to the locker room.
So, completely unrelated, but how do you feel about rocket launchers?
They are great to use on random zombies. Oh boy.
Yeah, so the problem is sometimes when he decides to chase you, he just managed to get his hands on a rocket launcher.
So he can open doors, goddammit.
I thought you knew. Probably should have mentioned that.
Also, he's kind of fast.
Yeah, he is.
Let's see if that door opens again or if I'm safe to go back.
Well, I'd assume if you're going to go back there, he's probably still going to be there. As long as you keep hearing that creepy music and everything, he's still around.
I should be glad about one thing. Apparently he hasn't figured out how to shoot rockets and just tries to punch me with it.
Well, he only starts using that if you're a fair distance away from him.
Oh, the bad music is back.
It's also pretty funny is that when Nemesis is chasing you and there are some zombies in the way, he'll just start punching the hell out of them in order to get to you.
That locker was not very useful.
Well, there was some gunpowder be in it? That could come in handy.
Probably. Oh, hi.
Though the problem is you didn't really empty out your inventory to actually be able to grab it.
Well, I can grab it now.
Yeah, but maybe it might be best to go back to the safe room real quick anyway, so that you'll be able to grab those 2 herbs that are at the entrance. I mean, you're going to get brutally murdered by Nemesis sooner or later anyway, so it might as well be sooner.
And saving first. Oh boy, the evil music is still playing.
Yeah, but at the very least, he doesn't burst into safe rooms. So you don't have to worry about that.
I guess I don't need the stars card anymore.
No, and the blue jewel, I think it'll be a while before you're gonna need that as well.
Alright, and still have to figure out where to use that lockpick for real.
Well, before you got to the police station, there was another door that was locked and everything. You should be able to use it on that.
Oh, I would have searched the police station forever.
No, at this point you can just leave the police station. There's nothing else left to do here.
Oh, let's not go the wrong way again. Greta, even modern printers take ink, so... Why is the dog still burning?
Because he's a hot dog?
Don't. Please don't. So it must be one of the red doors.
Well, as far as I'm aware of, you can just simply go back out to where you went to the police station and then just go in the opposite direction. You should be able to get to the locked door.
Yeah, there was a red one there. So that's where I'm heading. I saw something climb out of that window.
Yeah, don't worry about that right now. But it would probably be best to keep it in mind.
Ah, good thing someone else is writing a diary while he's dying. Greta, I can't imagine being a truck driver in that city because the truck wouldn't fit anywhere. They probably deliver everything by forklifts.
Also, I'm thinking most truck drivers in Raccoon City, I'd assume they probably end up missing their delivery dates and everything, and then when they actually have to write their report on the reason why, probably 9 times out of 10, the only thing they write down there is pretty much them asking, why did he bite me?
Greta, I have learned from another forklift driver, they fit in everywhere.
So I don't know, speaking of forklifts,
This looks
do they also...
weird. Look at
Do you have
that
any idea if
sprite.
they also decide to do morning forklift races and everything like they tend to do in Shenmue?
Well, blue herbs, there will be spiders. Or dogs. Are these dogs poisonous?
Normally no. Honestly, I can't even remember if spiders even show up in Resident Evil 3. I think it might be entirely new poisonous enemies.
No. Game, I was not in a giant green room.
Well, most of that space in the green room probably got taken up by the broken down bus.
Is that noise from the game or in my room?
If it's some weird noise coming from sparks and everything, that should be coming from the game.
No, it's in my room. Someone in the apartment above me is apparently moving furniture. Alright, seems like we are in a new area. Or... There was a pet shop, but I'm pretty sure the dogs were not from there. Oh boy, I was hoping we are in some kind of dungeon like the police station and not this. God damn it.
Well, I think it's a little bit more straightforward than it actually looks, but it's probably going to be pretty damn confusing the first time around. Again, the battery packs are back.
Is this better or worse than spiders? It's a spider. A weird spider, but a spider.
Well, at the very least, those specific enemies aren't supposed to be poisonous, but I think about it, there might be another variant of those things that are.
This game hates my inventory.
Well, actually, you should be able to pick those up, because it is possible to combine the gunpowder together and everything. I think you should be able to do it up to 3 times. And yeah, I completely forgot. Apparently, there aren't any actual gunpowder seeds that you can just find lying around. The only way you're able to get those is by combining gunpowder A with gunpowder B.
Mm. Oh God, a state-of-the-art hospital sponsored by Umbrella. I hope they never have to take in an emergency. Oh, don't have the lighter with me.
What's that?
Calm down, lady. I'm no zombie. My name's Carlos, Corporal of Umbrella's Biohazard Countermeasure Force. What's your name?
Jill, did you just say you belong to Umbrella's army?
Yeah. We came all the way out here to save you civilians, but the mission went bad the minute we landed.
Wait! How did he find me? This way!
Oh. Seems like the basement was a bad idea.
There should be a vent or something there.
Oh yeah, there it is. Well, see ya, dude. Oh.
Wait. I have to ask you something.
I know. You want to ask me out? All the foxy ladies love my accent. It drives them crazy.
What? Keep dreaming. Tell me, why did Umbrella send your team in?
We're here to rescue the civilians.
Don't lie to me. Umbrella is the reason why this whole mess began.
Look, we're just mercenaries, hired hands. Do you really think the master would tell his dogs why they have to retrieve the stick he just threw? If you want answers, you should talk to someone else. I am not with Umbrella. We'll have to finish this later. Believe it or not, we're only here to rescue the civilians. If you can trust me, then help us. Think about it.
Okay, so how do you feel about cranks?
No.
Okay, then how about cranks that are also completely rusted?
Sounds like a fitting destiny to a crank. Well, Greta, he left us alone despite having a rifle because that rifle is probably no longer working after taking that swim. I guess. Never tried to drench a rifle in water and try to fire it. So, right, where am I even?
Also, come to think of it, this might be a good time to grab the blue jewel you found a little while ago.
Alright.
And I think you can just put the crank away because I don't think you're gonna need it just yet.
Because of course, the game makes me run around forever with the stupid crank. Should have known that something is off with the safe room music not playing. Oh boy, I see where this is going and I love it. Well, where is he? Is he really waiting until I have this shoved into the...
I'm pretty sure he isn't gonna show up until you get the item you're supposed to find here.
Hmm. That was all I was here for? Boring. Oh, hello. Thanks for throwing me in the right direction. Or not.
Yeah, that's how it's usually gonna go when you try to take on Nemesis.
I wasn't even trying to.
Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty much with stuff like that that, honestly, I get the feeling that them deciding to call it hard mode was more of a compromise than everything, because they probably weren't able to fit all that text in there with the original name, which was probably something like Shinji Mikami hates you and everything you stand for mode. Also, this might actually be an opportune moment. I think I might have misremembered in regards to the crank and everything. You might possibly need it a little bit earlier than I had previously expected, so...
Let's bring it.
I'm pretty sure you're not going to need the lockpick again for a while. So you should be able to safely put that away.
Whoops. This inventory bug is really confusing from time to time. Oh, God, boy. Alright, let's make him despawn again. Or not. So is that shutter removing the only way to get out?
It certainly looks like it. I guess a lot of things in Raccoon City are really poorly thought out.
Man, that reporter was an idiot. So let's see how today's fight with him goes. I don't really have more room here. Oh boy.
Yeah, if
Seems
I remember
like-
correctly, here you're supposed to go to the right, and that's where you'd be able to use the crank.
Oh, seems I have to take the scenic route. Don't think I can go there yet.
Oh, you're going in the right direction. Now, hopefully the game didn't decide to, you know, randomly spawn in dogs. Okay, thankfully it didn't seem to do that.
Bye, Crank.
Yeah, so just keep this place in mind when you find another certain item. Also, is that another DeLorean, or...
Yes, it is. They really liked that car. And or the movie it was in.
Well, I don't know, I kind of assumed the only reason why someone would want to own a car like that is if it were a time machine.
I wish I was driving a time machine. I would probably prevent the invention of the fax machine.
You're one of the survivors from the rescue team, right? I just ran into your teammate, Carlos.
How did a girl like you manage to survive?
Hey, I'm no ordinary civvy. I'm a member of STARS.
Stars? You mean the RPD Special Force Team?
Hey, is someone wounded back there? Oh, this looks bad.
They're coming. Get ready. Fire. Fire. Stay together.
Calm down. You're safe now. Everything is gonna be okay.
So Jill, did you decide to help us out? It looks like we're the only ones who survived. We should work together.
No, we can't trust her.
Why? But Sergeant, we need her help. Our unit's down to you, me, and Lieutenant Mikhail. That's it. And Mikhail's hurt bad. If we don't cooperate, we won't be walking away from this mission.
Fine. Then let's go over our plan. We're moving to the clock tower area, which is the designated landing zone for the extraction chopper. Once we get there and give the signal, the chopper will fly in and pull us out.
That's a lot of ground to cover. I don't think we can make it on foot.
The main problem we have is that the landing zone is cut off from here by the fire. So we have no choice but to use this cable car to navigate through it. Fortunately, we can also use it as a moving shield to get us through the worst areas.
That works for me. Good plan, sir.
Okay, people, let's get moving.
Jill, put this on.
Oh, nice. More inventory.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, that's correct. I have a lot of these gunpowder bottles and not really used them thus far. Well, got a wench, I have a feeling where I need to go. Back to the gas station. Now there will probably be a million dogs.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past this game for that to happen.
Or a big mean doggy in a coat. I don't know, these zombies are at the same time more and less dangerous than the Resident Evil 1 ones.
So you're probably going to want to make sure you're able to grab as many items in this place as you can, because you're not going to be able to come back here after you're done.
Yeah.
I'll check over there.
I'm not entirely sure how to solve that one.
Yeah, again, sorry, but
Oh.
that's really painful to watch. It's really not that complicated, really.
It's in the next room. I'm supposed to light BAC or something.
Well, the way it works is that the one letter that's highlighted, you're supposed to make sure that only that one has a red light
Oh.
glowing on it and everything.
Oh. I didn't really see that that one is lighted.
Nikolai!
I should have checked out that other room before.
Well, hopefully there wasn't anything there.
Like a magnum or anything like that. No, out of all the cars they could have made explode there, they took the DeLorean.
Mikhail, do you have some kind of death wish?
My people. They were wiped out by these monsters. I can't stop just because I'm wounded.
But can't you see those monsters are also the victims of Umbrella?
Are you accusing me of taking it out on them? You don't seem to understand something. We're not really involved with the company. There's no reason for any of us to take responsibility for this mess.
I know that. And right now, that's the only reason why I'm trying to cooperate with you.
Was that guy ever name dropped?
Sorry. I
think so. I mean, his name's Mikhail, isn't it?
You fought hard and have the wounds to prove it.
But I'm still alive. My men aren't.
Don't think about that now. Just rest.
Was just confused that she knows his name.
Save my men.
But
I think
don't
Carlos at one point mentioned his name.
Ah, alright. Alright, we got this. Where do we get the next part?
Well, if I remember correctly, you should be able to use that wrench on something else.
The question is what?
I think it was a while back. That one hallway that would lead to the one area with the broken down bus and everything. I think in the hallway, if you go all the way to the end, there should be a fire hose that's attached to a wall. Should be able to decouple that and then attach that to something that's on the wall where you first came across the hot dogs and everything and be able to put out the fire.
Alright, I remember the fire hose for the really weird sprite, so wherever that was. But yeah, that was quite a while back. Part of me wants to clean up the room. Another part of me is sure that Nemesis will do it for me at some point.
Well, yeah, I guess another problem with Resident Evil 3 is that compared to Resident Evil 2, it's a hell of a lot more strict with how much ammo you're actually allowed to use.
Why are you still alive? Thought I had more healing items. Apparently not. I think at this point I have enough shotgun ammo to be more liberal with that. Also, might the zombies spawn here now? Are you dead? Really, Jill, where are you aiming? That was the restaurant. Was probably behind it. Interesting movie they are having in this theater. The
Yeah,
misadventures
kind of have
of-
to wonder which version that one is supposed to be.
Probably not the one with a certain Scotsman in Spain. Oh, these things are still around. I don't think this was the fire hose room.
No. It's a little bit further back, I believe. Actually, come to think of it, you're probably gonna run past it, so maybe it might be best to grab that as well. In the indoor parking lot, there should be a car that has a bunch of sparks coming out of it. That's where you should be able to get the power cable you're going to need for the trolley.
Oh. I have no idea where to use these bronze things.
Well, there was that one water fountain thing.
That is
was
where I
electrified.
stole them.
Well, do you remember where you get the book from?
Oh, no I don't.
Well, that's where you're supposed to use the compass.
Oh. Oh boy. Birds.
Well, normally they shouldn't be a problem so long as you keep running.
Well, I consider them a problem because I don't have flash grenades. I really love that stupid sprite. So let's go even further back to the hot dog room, wherever that was.
Also, come to think of it, maybe this might be a good opportunity to go back to the area where you started out. Maybe that guy decided to come out of the huge container and everything that he decided to lock himself into.
Would there be more explosive barrels on easy?
No, I think it's the same amount either way.
Because if that was the case, I would switch difficulty just for that. I have never been at a sales office.
Well, that's what the fire hose is for.
Not entirely sure about this fire extinguishing system.
Well, considering how poorly thought out everything else is, that's probably kind of an improvement.
True. Better than the fire shutter that locks you on the escape route. Oh boy. What do I see here? Everyone's favorite item ever. Oh god, what are you?
Actually, if I remember correctly, these enemies might even actually be referred to as the brain suckers.
I see you. I can't hit you.
I really don't think you should be using that shotgun so close to that thing on the wall, because that's also one of those explosives.
Oh! That... yeah. I thought it's an item I can grab.
I don't know, I was kind of hoping that, you know, years of modern gaming and everything would have taught you by now that if it's red, it's probably an explosive of some kind.
It's not a barrel.
Don't make me do this, Murphy. I don't want to shoot you. Kill me.
I finished. Not human.
Wait, we don't have to do this.
Please hurry. Before I lose conscious. Before too late. Kill me! Yeah!
Murphy. Why? No.
Carlos!
I don't think the plan of the guy who wants to die was empty the entire magazine into his chest. Because that probably hurts a lot. Probably even more than getting zombified.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the fact that Carlos didn't even bother to shoot him in the head or anything, he's probably still going to come back as a zombie, so really all he managed to do was waste a bunch of ammo.
Yeah. If you see something suspicious, tell your boss. AKA this entire city. Oh no, another fax.
It's really kind of weird, though, that they would just leave a file talking about, you know, making all sorts of viruses and everything in a place like this.
So I think this is just the word that was on that ad on the TV.
Uh-huh.
Not sure if this is a better password than Umbrella.
Also, I'm not sure, but from what I've seen of the options menu, it's possible that the lock-on button for, I suppose objects in the environment and everything, that might be the left trigger.
Yeah, it's the left trigger. The right trigger is enemies and the left one is...
Okay, you might want to keep that in mind after you grab what you need here.
Oh boy. That was way too early. Oh, I know why you told me not to waste all the shotgun ammo.
Well, not wasting the shotgun ammo is really just common sense.
Oh man, I wish I had shotgun ammo now.
Come to think of it, do you still have that crank?
Yes.
You should be able to use that in that area. I think there's a shutter nearby.
The red dot on the map?
No, I think it's supposed to be just before the alley that leads to the back of the bar. There should be a shutter there you'd be able to use the crank on.
Silly street sign. This is going super badly. I really hope Fatso has help for me.
Well, if you're somehow able to get there, there should be a first aid spray there.
Oh, for fucks. I'm really not enjoying what I'm hearing there. But I see the first aid spray. Should I save first?
Well, I guess if you're going to do that, maybe save in a different slot just in case.
Oh, I'd have thought there were new enemy types. Why again did he decide to get out? Was he hungry?
Maybe you could try checking his corpse.
Oh, he has a diary.
Oh, I thought he still had it on him.
Now I can probably try combining A and B, which gives me C, which I cannot see, thanks inventory.
Though to be honest, I would also suggest maybe try and combine those things with the reloading tool, because you're running pretty short on ammo.
Never.
But that's how you're supposed to play the game, though.
Thus far I have enough ammo. Right, what does this turn into? Ah, grenade rounds. And 10 at that, that's pretty good actually.
Yeah, then I guess I might have remembered it wrong. I think if I remember correctly, one of the instruction manuals that you have in the crate should be able to explain what combinations of powder turns into what.
Alright, let's check that out real quick. Yeah, that one we know. We also know that. Certain kinds of gunpowders, dear lord.
Alright, that was it. In order to get Magnum bullets, you had to combine 3 gunpowder C's together.
I wanna say that's not worth it.
It certainly is if you decide to take on Nemesis for his items.
Oh, there's also a level system attached to this. This is silly.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I hardly ever actually managed to get it myself. But apparently if you combine certain gunpowders with a reloading tool enough times, you get sort of improved ammunition. But I think the problem is that you have to essentially combine those things a lot of times for that to happen, so you probably wouldn't even be able to do something like, you know, combine several bottles of gunpowder A together and everything, save up space, that you actually have to combine those with a reloading tool pretty much one piece at a time.
Oh, I forgot what CNC was.
Freeze rounds, I believe.
Not worth it, I guess.
Well, against most enemies, not really, but the freeze rounds do come in handy against Nemesis, since it at least slows them down a little. Well, it was either it slowed them down, or it's one of those kinds of ammunition that if you pretty much hit them with it, it apparently continuously does damage to them.
Hmm. Yeah, 10 grenades of every type, that should help for a bit. Right, and I guess with this exciting inventory management, I call it a day. So we will continue this the next time with a lot of ammunition. So I will probably not get bitten by zombies as much. So, thank you for being around and helping me out here.
Helping out is kind of a strong word, I'd say.
Thanks Stream Chat for commenting and watching, and I still hate you, Internet. Especially Twitch today for not working. Good night.